Hello everyone, welcome back. We're Nick and Sarah, a British couple who left the UK many years ago in search of something different. We have a passion for filmmaking and travel, and with our two little dogs, we're going to take on the world. Just after we finish building our van.
So guys, welcome back to the channel. This isn't the vlog it was supposed to be. How you feeling, darling?
Angry. It's damaged. And it's damaged in quite a few places actually.
If you watch the last vlog, you'll know that we were heading out on the maiden voyage.
First trip away in the new van since we started building it, like the first overnight trip. Several hours driving. Yeah. And not only that, we were going to do the biggest transformation of the van since we started, something we've been waiting for since the beginning of the build. Well, we did get the transformation. We do have brand new windows in the van, and we'll show you those just shortly. We've also got a shiny new big awning that we'll show you shortly as well.
But the trip wasn't a complete success. Sarah is actually not feeling very well at all at the moment. She's quite really ill. Sick. We don't do sick, we don't do ill, touch wood, we hardly ever get ill. But
I've got some kind of virus or something. I was up last night with a bucket by the side of the bed. It wasn't very pleasant, and
she actually got it off me. I blame the UK.
Actually,
I blame a little trip back to the UK.
So Nick thinks that when I was in the UK I brought something back, which could have been quite likely, and then obviously it hasn't hit me, but it hit Nick first, and then it's hit me yesterday. So basically, should we say what happened when we went away on the trip?
So basically, voyage? It started off quite well. We left here and we went to see our friends on the coast, which we've been meaning to do for ages. We had a nice lunch on Chiringuito on the beach. That was all good. We had fun, a couple of beers, not too many. I was driving, so I had a couple of shandies.
Halves.
That was all good, and then we drove halfway up the coast because we were going to see the guy to get the windows done first thing in the morning. It was going to be a full day's work to get the two windows and the awning done. So we drove for an hour and we parked up in a nice little spot. Considering it's the Costa del Sol, we found a nice little spot like a kilometre off the beach, off the busy main strip, in a little car park. We had our back doors open, kind of a little garden, like a tropical garden, palm trees, really nice. This is why we like having the entrance at the back as well as the side door.
Yeah, because we were kind of stealth, but we could leave the doors open, and it's quite hard to find decent car parking spaces, freebies. We have been moved on before on the Costa del Sol, haven't we? Twice actually.
Would have been a really nice sleep. Sarah slept okay, but let's first of all, Sarah slept in the bed. We didn't pull the bed out because we haven't quite made the adjustments, so we didn't want to risk our first maiden voyage and first night in the van by breaking the bed. So
we decided to do the setup where one of us sleeps in the front, and I said, well, I'll sleep in the front, that's fine, and Nick said no, that's fine. And you can actually make a very comfortable bed in the front. We've done it before, haven't we, in Germany, and it was really comfy.
It's actually really nice. Yeah, the single sort of, or the narrow cushion goes by the steering wheel because there's less space, and then the big cushion this side, and it is really comfortable.
So Nick slept in the front, I slept here on the single, and just before we went to bed, Nick's face went really quite red, and I said, have you caught the sun today? I said, well, you haven't, because you weren't sat in the sun, we were sort of sat in the shade for lunch.
I felt really hot, and then so I thought, I'm just going to get an early night, so I got in the front and then just didn't sleep well at all. I felt sick all night, and yeah, I couldn't get to sleep, so I had to just sort of sit up, prop myself up against the door, and then I was just drifting in and out of consciousness all night.
And we had to then get up the following morning quite early, because we obviously had to drop the van off first thing for him to do two windows and an awning in one day. Nick was exhausted, absolutely exhausted, obviously, and but we got there.
So we just basically went from cafe to cafe.
We did actually consider checking into like an Airbnb or a hotel or something, because Nick was so like poorly and out of it, so he could sleep. But we just soldiered on through, didn't we?
Because that is one thing actually. Before starting van life, and lots of people ask us, you know, what the worst thing that can happen. Well, one of the worst things that can happen on the road when you're living in a van is getting really sick. Like sickness and diarrhea would be the worst. And what do you do? And basically, to be honest with you, we're just checking to an Airbnb or something.
100%.
And doesn't matter what van you're in, doesn't matter if you're in a tiny, you know, transit or a big
You need a proper flushing loo, don't you? You need, like, you know, hot water to be able to have a hot shower when you're feeling like terrible like that, and a long hot shower too, I think, sorts you out if you're really, really sick.
And your own toilet, even if you've got, you know, a nice big posh motorhome,
you're
separate
still not going to
bathroom.
have a flushing proper loo that's going to be suitable for vomit and things like that. Yes, so
anyway, we didn't check into an Airbnb. We thought we'd just push on, and I was just like falling asleep in cafes. I did perk up.
Nick was really bad.
Yeah, just exhausted, just like couldn't think straight, and just like And
the thing is, it was supposed to be like a really exciting day, because obviously there was the excitement of going back to the van and it being completely transformed with the new windows and the awning and everything. So it was just such a shame.
Quite low key, quite underdeveloped for that sort of area.
Yeah, it's
really
past Malaga, isn't it? So it's just like a couple of towns past Malaga. So
we really wanted to film like a travel vlog, because we were on the road in our first days and nights in Velton, but obviously that didn't happen. Dizzy.
He can see out the window.
He can see out the window. He's confused, isn't he? Anyway, so yeah, it didn't go as planned, but I perked up a little bit in the afternoon. We managed to go out for a meal and have some sardines, barbecued sardines, which is like the speciality of the coast.
Probably wasn't the best thing to eat.
Wasn't the best, because later that day I suffered.
Oh, he was really poorly. Then again, that was after we picked up the van, when you got really sick again, and he shouldn't have had the sardines, and you had like a small beer with his lunch as well. Wasn't a good idea. Later on, I had like bad indigestion. I hope it was indigestion, not a heart attack. He was
but
worried.
Yeah, really.
But the sardines were very nice at the time, and it was a lovely, lovely atmosphere, low key bar and all that kind of thing. So it was quite nice. And then we got a phone call from the guy saying, oh, because of the rain, because it was forecast rain, in fact I think it had started spitting a bit by now, he'd got his friend to help do the windows and the awning, so we were expecting to go and pick up the van at like 7-8 o'clock in the evening, but he called at, I think it was like 3, was it? 2:30, 3, and said, the van will be all ready by 4. We were still at the restaurant, weren't we? Yeah. So we just thought, well, let's go and get it, because it had started raining, so we sort of rushed back to the van.
We'll show you the windows and awning in a minute.
We're a minute,
very impressed. They're very, very nice.
Yeah,
very
so
happy.
I think we've talked about what we were thinking about going for, whether it was the sliding windows or the awning style window, tinted or not tinted, size-wise and things like that. But I think we've made the right choice.
Definitely.
We are very, very happy. We can't wait to show you just in a minute. Sorry, we're stalling it a bit, keeping you all in suspense.
But anyway, so we got the windows done, very happy with that, finished early, and then we were like, oh, should we just stay away? Let's try and push on through, or try and stay away and film something. We decided to just drive back some of the way and
to the car park that we stayed at the night before, because it was a great spot, and Nick was exhausted, so we went back there, and that's when you fell asleep here, you and the doggies, and I was just getting on with some work in the van. And when you woke up, you were really quite out of it, weren't you? Again, he'd had a bit of a sleep, but you were out of it.
I thought a pan out would do me
that's
good.
When you were getting the heart sort of pains and
stuff.
stuff.
Really tight chest, really quite painful. Just sort of deep breaths walking around. I was like, okay, well, we could just try and stay here, and then get up in the morning, hopefully I'll feel better and we can film something, go exploring. But it's not worth it. Like we said before, if you're feeling really, really sick, you don't really want to be in a van.
And we were only like about an hour and a half to 2 hours away from home, and I said to Nick, like, how do you feel? Like, we can just check into somewhere here if you want, if you're not up for the drive. And you said, well, I'll be okay, let's just get back. And you were okay.
Yeah, a couple of paracetamol, and then on the drive I was sort of all right, so don't panic. It wasn't dangerous.
Quite bad. Oh, by the way, the van, obviously we did sort of 2, 3, 4, about 5 hours drive in total, round trip. And on the way back we weren't hanging around because Nick was poorly, so we just wanted to get home. The van held together. brilliantly. No crash bang wallops. The only slight thing was, I don't know if we mentioned it already, but the magnets that we put on the overhead cupboards, some of them are a little bit weak.
Yeah.
They're not very strong, so a couple of the overhead cupboards came open a bit.
Yeah.
And we had all our things up here, and
the fridge moved a little bit.
The fridge moved a
So
little bit,
we were planning on putting some battens to secure it further.
It's got like a thing at the front to hold it in place, so it can't come right out, but it had moved a bit. But we were going over some speed bumps and round some corners.
Very, very happy, and it
that.
wasn't noisy. Obviously you get creaks with any vans. There's a bit of creaking with this sort of lightweight plastic ceiling we've got. The movement on
but
that
I think
with
that's because it's
overheads.
not finished, because we've not finished that top bit. There was a little bit of like
no,
that,
but hardly anything.
Hardly anything. So we were really, really impressed with like the whole drive out, several hours drive in the van. I kept looking behind, going, no, nothing, everything's fine, you know. On the way home, I was looking in the windows, making sure the awning was still on and things like that.
Since we've come back, I just yesterday just slept all the day.
And Nick, he came back, he pulled his shirt and he had a really bad rash all over his torso, front and back. It was really bad by the time we got home. I was actually starting to get a little bit worried about him then, with, you know, like the chest pains, which we thought must be indigestion, and then this rash. It's so odd. I mean, I don't know if you guys have any suggestions what that could be. I mean,
so yeah, nothing to worry about. That's gone now.
It's gone. Yeah, it's faded now, and Nick is obviously a lot. He's not 100%.
And now it's on Sarah.
Now it's on me.
No, it's not yet.
Yeah.
But
I haven't got
yet,
the rash.
hopefully not.
I haven't got the rash, but I just feel like it started last night. I've been fine, haven't I, since I got back from the UK? And then last night I just went to bed and I said, oh no, I feel a bit sick.
So hopefully it's only like a couple of days. I'm feeling a lot better today.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll
So we're staying away from people. We can talk to you guys, obviously,
That's
because
safe.
you can't catch it through the TV or the laptop or whatever you've got it on. But not very good. Some kind of virus that's proper kind of knocked us for six, doesn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to the good stuff. The dogs are very happy with the windows to start, and they're the reason we got them after all in the first place. So
Yeah.
let's show you them.
Is that the reason we got windows? Just
Yeah,
for the dogs?
yeah.
Everything's just for the dogs. I feel like in the last vlog, Charlie was a bit poorly, wasn't he, and sick. And then this vlog, it's us. And Dizzy has been a bit poorly as well in between, hasn't he? He was all right though. So anyway, I'm just gonna have a little lie down here with Charlie.
Alright then, the windows can wait for 1 minute. So guys, I'm just going to let Sarah have a little nap, a little power nap in the back of the van before we show you the windows. We are so glad we got windows, by the way. There's so much more light coming into the van, obviously. Like right now, I'm at the back of the van. The back doors are both shut. We've just got this little window, little 50 by 50 open, and there's so much light coming into the van on my face I can actually vlog. Anyway, just want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor of the video, and that is NordVPN. Now, if you haven't heard of NordVPN, where have you been? You haven't been following. You must be new to the channel, so welcome to the channel. NordVPN, in our opinion, is the best VPN on the market. If you don't know what a VPN is, it stands for Virtual Private Network, and there's lots of reasons to get one of these. One of the main reasons is for security. It basically adds an extra layer of security to your device when you're accessing the internet, especially on public Wi-Fi's. What it does is it basically hides your IP address, or allows you to choose an IP address from anywhere in the world. So this helps prevent hackers and snoopers from trying to access your details and steal your information. Now, another good reason to get one of these is it basically extends your viewing library, your viewing capabilities, so you can watch shows from anywhere in the world, wherever you are in the world, and we can watch all our favourite, there's only a couple of them, but shows from the UK. When we're out here, we just click on a UK IP address and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and we're watching our shows in the UK. If you're looking to get a VPN, click the link in our description. As always, Nord are offering a fantastic deal plus additional months for free, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you've got nothing to lose. No, it's only been a minute. I'm sure power nap's supposed to be 20 or something, but you okay to do the big reveal?
Thought I had dribble then.
Sorry, I was just thinking one bad thing about windows is the dogs can see out and see cats.
Dizzy hasn't spotted it.
Dizzy hasn't spotted the cat that's just wandering outside.
No, he has. Good boy, not barking.
Cat can't see you though, Diz. Cat can't. Oh, there we go.
It's okay.
The thing about these windows is
Yeah, boys, don't you mark
they've
the
got
windows.
screens and the cat's gone. Where's the cat?
The door's open. So this is the big reveal.
And as if by magic, the pussycat's gone. Papa made it go away. Magic. So guys, what do you think? How sexy are these windows? Look at that. Low profile, nice and neat, nicely tinted, blackout. You can't even see the doggies. The doggies are just sat on the sofa right behind the window looking out, and you can't see them at all. So from the outside, the only way you can see in is if you put your hands right to the window. But then on the inside, it's quite good for Spain. I think they like UV protected. So unlike the skylight, which lets in a lot of light, a bit too much and a bit glary, these have got a nice sort of sun visor tint. So it's not too...
So you can see the difference between the window here and obviously that bright light behind Nick. We're really impressed with that because obviously we do have a lot of strong sun here. So for us, having something like this, UV protective or whatever they are, is really great. So we did go for the awning style windows in front and back. Part of that is to do with you lovely lot actually, because when we put it out there about what should we go for, either the sliders or the awning, a lot of people were kind of for the awning rather than the sliders for lots of different reasons, and that sort of helped us make the decision too, doesn't it? Didn't
Definitely,
it? Yeah. So we're really happy.
One of the reasons I wasn't sure about the awning style, maybe due to Vinny's little awning windows at the top in the sort of the high top extension, they're a bit flimsy, and I don't know whether I've seen others and they didn't seem that secure. But these are really well made. They've got like 5 latches. On this big one, there's 5 latches all the way across, which can be opened, as you said, just slightly, the same as Vinny's, so you can let the air flow in at night, help with condensation and that. And then it just seems really well made. The crystal or the reinforced plastic, whatever it's made from, is really solid. Nice bit of weight to it. These arms feel secure, and we haven't tested it. We're not sure. We need to check to find out how the angle you can open it. But
we're too scared to open it fully, basically, in case we break it. It's like when you get anything new, it's like, oh, we can't push it too far. But yeah.
And then obviously you've got the built-in mosquito net, nice solid magnet, and the screen. So happy. It's so weird though, we're not used to having windows. It's so funny because it's just perfect for the dogs. Like, we weren't sure about the size to get because the sofa's here, and you know what to do with that, whether to go a little bit higher, but it's just perfect for the dogs. And for like Sarah now, if she's sick lying in bed, she can just lie in bed and look out the window at the view.
Perfect. Yeah, we are very happy, and we actually went for like the biggest window that we could put in the side door, so I think it was at 985 by 465, something like that. But basically the biggest one to fit in the space. It just changes the van completely. Obviously it's going to, but yeah.
Then on the back again, we went with the biggest window we could fit in, 50 by 50. The kitchen surface kind of in line, but I think that looks all right. So Dizzy can just sit there. We can put his bed there and he can look out the window again. Again, this has got the mosquito nets and the screen on the bottom. Basically it's the same window as this one, but smaller. So we're not going to bang on about that one.
We didn't actually have loads of choice of windows. We had, what did we have?
There's like 3 different types. Cheapest ones, which aren't really tinted, which kind of had like a white strip across the top.
They're not tinted at all. We wanted tinted. We wanted as tinted as we could get, because you've got a big window here looking straight into where we're going to sleep for a start. I mean, I know we've got blinds, but you want tinted. You don't want people walking past and looking in.
And you can do the tint yourself with the screens, but you know, it's never going to be as good as buying a tinted window.
Yeah, so we went for the tinted and the low profile ones as well, and yeah, and it was kind of, and there was this one and another type of window, and the other type of window we would have had to wait till the end of May. So we kind of just yeah.
Basically,
no
we
choice.
just had this window.
We just had this window if we wanted to get them done now.
Oh, and we've got an awning as well. But we're not going to show you the awning right now. We might have to move the van because we're not really in a position where we can get the awning out fully to test out its fullest capabilities, and we're a bit nervous. We need to build ourselves up to that. But I just thought I'd show you what Sarah got up to yesterday while I was sick and Sarah was feeling okay. Tell what it is. There's a big hole, square cut out in a piece of laminate. You can probably guess, can't you? So yeah, this is what we're going to do to cover up the rest of the door on this window by the kitchen. So we're just using the laminate from the original build, and we decided we're going to carpet it. We're going to carpet it, which will neaten up the edges. We think it'll look nice, and it will just finish off that area really nicely, neatly and quickly is the main thing. We just want to get this van done so we can get on the road now. We're going to do the same with this piece of laminate for that door, and I'm going to cut the hole out, and then we might do two-tone carpet. We might have that bright blue at the top and the darker grey at the bottom. We'll see how we go, but that's just going to be a nice quick fix to get that job done. And then we've just got a bit of tidying up to do, a bit of carpeting to do, and then we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Nearly there, guys, but right now Sarah is sick, so I'm gonna make some lemsips and put her to bed, and then hopefully after a little rest she'll feel all right to come back down to the van and we'll get on with some work.
Yeah, the thing is, we really want to get everything done now. This bit getting sick is just like such bad timing, and we're so close now. I mean, as Nick just mentioned, these door panels that we're putting on they're actually hopefully going to be quite a straightforward job. It's literally just screw them on, and that hides all the nasty stuff, and that's hopefully done. And then it's just, and we'll show you a little bit later on once we've had a rest, but we've actually done the panels as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
For this
Carpeted.
area, so we know what we're doing, and yeah, we'll crack on after we've had a bit of a snooze.
I'm just going to get things done as quickly as possible. We can always make changes in the future. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you're going to snooze here though? Looks quite comfortable there.
It's very comfortable, but I think I need to go to the loo, and we don't have the loo in here, do we? So
not just yet.
I think it's best to go back.
How you feeling, darling?
Angry. Health-wise, I'm a lot better. Yesterday was just a wipeout. I was on the sofa all day and couldn't really move. I was just dead to the world. Felt like absolute crap after we finished filming that part of the vlog. So we didn't do anything yesterday. I'm not 100%, but I do feel a lot better than yesterday. But I'm very cross, and it's so frustrating. As you can see, the awning is out and it's damaged. And it's damaged in quite a few places actually, and not just a little bit of damage, it's like got pieces snapped off, and it's so frustrating because we were umming and ahhing whether to do the windows and awning ourselves, and we thought let's just pay a professional to do it because obviously they do it all the time. I feel like I'm regretful. I feel like we should have just bloody done it ourselves. Basically the two top corners, the covers are kind of snapped off. It's both sides, it's damaged quite bad in the plastic bits. Also the pole's got lots of scratches and little dents on it as well. Even the stick that you wind it out with has been damaged. Now when we picked up the van after the work had been done, we spoke to the guy and he said, oh yeah, you know, all good. We didn't try the awning there, it was actually starting to rain and stuff. We just trusted him. The guy gets very good reviews, and so we left. I've contacted the guy now and said, you know, what's going on? I've just sent him a little video, showed him the damage, and he's actually, we're just waiting to hear back from him. He's just gave one response, and I'm just waiting to hear back again because he only noticed a little bit of damage when I first messaged him. So I'm in the process. So we're going to see what he says. So far, he said he didn't open the awning. He just installed it, and he didn't realise that there was any damage or anything like that. So it must have came damaged in the box. Now, obviously, this is Dometic, and you know, big company. So I'm pretty sure we will get to the bottom of this, one way or another. Whether we just have to replace the ends or we can get a new awning. It's under warranty. These aren't cheap, you know. So yeah, but it's just very, very frustrating, isn't it, when you know, you go to look at something and it's like it's been used before. So the guy said he hadn't wound it out, so if that's the case, then it's not a new awning, because there is all scratches and all sorts all over it, as well as the obvious big bits of damage where it's obviously been dropped, and dropped quite badly, both sides.
As well as dirty fingerprints on that pole there.
Yeah.
You know, we were thinking about doing it ourselves, just a case of putting 3 brackets on, but it's quite a heavy thing to lift up, so you just think you go to a professional, they'll do it a lot quicker, a lot easier, and I don't know what the warranty is, but as long as there's no more damage.
It's going to be a proper, you know.
Yeah, but if it's been dropped, there may be more damage that we don't know about, 2 cracked ends.
Yeah, because
the mechanism, because one pole is a bit stiff opening, which could be right, could be normal, but the other pole's really easy. Slides out. So
I'd say it's been used before. It just shouldn't be this way, should it? When you pay €1,000 with installation, these awnings are 800 odd euros each. It shouldn't be like that, should it?
Should just be perfect, brand new, everything
working. That's why we decided to pay a professional. Let's just hope that yeah, we can get an answer from him and get this sorted. But obviously it's a faff, isn't it? Because it's several hours drive up the coast, and
round trip. What a disaster! What a disaster, that little trip up the coast.
Oh, it was a bloody disaster, because we got so poorly as well. Excuse the very noisy car going past. We got so poorly as well that we just wanted to come down here today, try out the awning and just be really happy and crack on with, you know, finishing the rest of the build. And we've come down here and we've just got ourselves really angry.
Yeah.
But obviously it puts a dampener on things, doesn't it, when it's cracked and
you got a second-hand awning.
You've got a second-hand awning that you've paid new for. And like Nick said, we don't know if the mechanism could be damaged. If it's been dropped that heavy to smash that plastic, the mechanism could be damaged, because we haven't put it all the way out, have we? Do you think we should put it all the way out?
I don't know whether we should just break it
even more.
And then,
we'll wait and see what the answer comes back from the guy that installed it. Anyway, we thought we'd just show you our little things that we've made. Basically, this is to hide this really like annoying section of the van, and we're saying annoying because it's difficult to know how do you kind of make that look pretty. And so we've put a little piece of batten there, and you know, you can't kind of get the screwdriver in there or anything. So what we've done is we've just Sikaflexed that on so it's solid, and then we've made these little templates. So it's going to sit there like that, and then we're just going to drill straight through there.
And then we've got another one for there.
Yeah.
It just sort of sits in there.
Yeah, and as you can see, we've already carpeted this down there. And here, again, we are going to put small pieces of batten inside here, and then you put the stretch carpet all the way over. Here is a after, where it's all finished, and here is a before section. Just kind of put another batten in, we've put a bit of insulation down there, and this will just give us a nice surface to carpet.
It's all about hiding the van. That's
Yeah.
what a van build is though. Get the stuff in there that you really need, water, electric, power, all that stuff, and then it's just a case of hiding the van.
And then if you ever to peel away the carpet, this is what it looks like underneath, a right mess. But that's the beauty of that stretch carpet. It's really good stuff, isn't it? I think once we've hidden this bit here and got those big door panels on, then we can get the paperwork in. Because to get the paperwork in, you need to take pictures of the finished van, so you don't want any wires on show or big things like this. They want to see the finished van with all the furniture in its place, you know, and the windows in their place without seeing all that metal of the van. And then we can get the paperwork in. And then once we've got the paperwork in, it takes about 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks, we can do all these little finishing touches that are not major ones on show, and then that's it, hopefully. Anyway, folks, I think we will end the vlog now. So thank you all so much for joining us this week. Sorry it was a bit of a funny one, you know, with this illness. It just really did knock us both out. Thankfully it was only like 24 hours or just over that we were both poorly for.
I'm still aching though.
Yeah,
still
so
aches and...
a bit achy, yeah, not 100%. And yeah, so we really wanted to do a travel vlog this week, but you've ended up with what you've got, a bit of a disaster vlog.
Plenty coming though, plenty coming soon.
Plenty coming, and we're very, very excited about it. So make sure you're following us for daily updates over on our other socials.
Make sure you're subscribed, it really does help us out.
It really
very
does.
much appreciated.
Yeah, and we'll see you all next Thursday for more fun and games.
Who knows where we'll be, what we'll be doing.
Thanks,
Take care,
guys. See you next week.
See you soon.